shit with me. As y'all can see, she's leaking. Let me clean your eyes off. Go get a seal tomorrow. And we're going to change that rear main. I'm going to get a drain pan, and tonight before we start on it tomorrow, we're going to drain the oil out and let it drip all night out of the oil pan and unhook the battery where I don't forget about it. Alright guys, it's the next day. It's been dripping all night. Gotta get under there and see if I can prop y'all up somewhere and get that oil pan off. Got a little super reach. We're locking in. See if we can get that oil pan off without having to remove anything else. Oh. Sorry, knocked y'all down. Line you up again. Maybe right there. They're coming out, but I got all this lift on this thing, so it might. Well, shit, y'all not gonna stand up there too easy. That one's smaller. Okay, 10mm on that one. So far, they've been 13s on the two back bigger bolts and 11mm. And this one here is 10, probably because it got lost and I had to replace it or whatever when I put the engine in it the first time. Alright, I'll get it off there and turn y'all back on. I'll turn you back on when I start to take it off. Is that a weird angle? I hope the camera works alright. It's wanting to come down. It's not. I think I used a one-piece seal on this thing when I put the engine in. I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, and watch those bolts and knock your teeth out. They're little, but they hurt. Yes, I did use a one-piece seal because I was using my noggin. It's still fucking dripping everywhere. She looks brand new because it basically is. Just clean as a pin. One-piece seal on the pan gasket. I like these model engines with the girdle on them. We'll have to take that girdle off to get that rear main cap off. There ain't nothing in the screen. Yeah, there is too. There's a fucking leaf in there. Look at that. What the hell? How in the hell does a perfect leaf? Look at that. A perfect leaf in an oil pump screen. Well, we'll wash that out, make sure. It's crazy, ain't it? One of you guys I was talking to yesterday, y'all sent me a message and you changed your oil pump when you did this, and it wouldn't pick the oil back up. That sucks. I hadn't heard from him. I was texting him back and forth, or messaging back and forth on Messenger. But always put a little bit of oil in that thing before you put it on. If you put a new oil pump on, flip it upside down, pour oil in the pickup tube, and then put it on there. That way it's got max suction. But it should pick it up. It should have a little bit of oil in it from the factory when they build them. Anyway, I'll quit blabbing my mouth. We'll get this girdle off of here. Let's see what it's going to take to get that rear main seal out of there. Alright guys, I'm going to leave y'all right there. And we're going to get that girdle off of there. Try to keep your hands clean and no sand on them when you're doing this stuff. You don't want to get no sand up in there. Cause more problems than you fix them. It cleared my long extension, cleared all the steering components and stuff. Y'all seen that leaf up in there? That was weird. It's weird how shit gets down in these things and you don't see how in the heck you could even do it, but it happens. But that was an oak leaf. That wasn't a pecan leaf. No, I don't even have any damn pecan trees. I mean, no oak. I got some oaks around here, but the leaves don't look like that. I don't know where the hell that comes from. That's weird. Alright, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start back here. Y'all can't see me, but I just want to go this way. I'm coming y'all's way. This girdle that these 98 up ones have on them, I think this might have started at 96. I'm not positive. They make that thing a lot stronger in the bottom end. It holds those main caps and ties them all together. Keeps them from walking around when you're running the hell out of it. Alright, I'm gonna put that middle one back in where it don't fall off and hit me in the head. Bend my damn pickup tube or something. Whenever you put an oil pan on, if you ever wonder how close your pickup tube is to the oil pan, because if you get it too close, it won't pick up right. You can go to the Walmart or wherever and get some Play-Doh like kids play with. You put it on that flat part of that oil pump screen, not the screen, but the flat part of the metal. Put your oil pan on and pull it back off and measure it. It should be like 3/8 of an inch from the bottom of it. Or close to that, you know, where you can tell it's not going to be starving for oil. Sucking on the bottom of it. Ooh, Nelly, come back. Yeah, leave one in there because it wanted to fall off right there. Okay, I got all my nuts over here behind y'all. And this goes on one way only, but I would just lay it. I mean, it might go on both ways, but I'd lay that sucker where you know which way it went. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright. Tell you what. I wish I would have turned the crankshaft to where that piston and rod's up back here by the main cap. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to shut y'all off for a minute. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm sorry if y'all didn't see much of that. It's kind of hard. We're going to turn that rod up to where we got more access room into here. But I'll get a light and we'll shine it. Let's do it now. Hold on, I'll get a light and we'll look up in there at the cylinders and stuff. She looks good, boys. I hate to ever pull this motor out of here because it is in good shape. You can still see some roughness on the cam where it was where the lifters broke it in. But this engine's new. I've told y'all that already. It's 2 years old. See how they mark the cap? See how they mark the rod caps? 5, 6. That's a good practice. When you tear one down or re-ring it, you want to do that. That's how you want to do it. You mark it on both sides of the cap. That way you know you went together right. But alright, I'm gonna quit blabbing my mouth, and we're gonna get these get that rod turned up out of the way. See if I can do this with the phone. Go ahead and get that gasket off of there. These one-piece ones are the best, man. You can reuse them if I don't mess it up right here. Coming out of the end cap, the main cap. That's good. Take that down out of your way. Put it in a safe place where it can't get bent. Yep. Y'all hear me grunting too much in the movies. I'm 43 and I've been hard at it my whole life. It gets harder. Some of you 20-year-olds probably like, that damn old man. But yeah. You know what though? That's gonna put the crank throw in the way. Okay. Let's keep turning it and see what we got. I'm trying to see how the easiest way to do this. Let's see. Right there. Crank thrower's got a little flat spot there now, so we'll try that and see how it works. I'll let y'all know. I've never did one of these within the Jeep. Alright. Let me get that cap off of there. Let's see if it'll break it loose with this long ass extension on there. Oh crap. You alright? Okay. I don't know that it will, but we got to find out. No. Those should be like 104 or 108 foot-pounds. Let's see if we can get up in there. Keep your hand on that cap. It won't fall off probably, but it could, I guess. Duck the bolts. And you'll just see what I'm doing here. Alright. Should have to give it a little wiggle. A little tappy tap with a brass hammer. Recesses down in the block. Just keep your hands on it. There it goes. It's got to be gingerly with it. Treat it like it's an egg. I think this one's got that two-piece seal with a lip on it because it's sticking. A little bit of chatter on the bearings. That's from assembly. You see that? That's where they assembled the damn thing. It's all nasty. That's what that's from. It's spit out of there by now though. Crank looks good. You can't turn that bearing cap the wrong way, so don't worry. We'll swipe it off and look at the journal real quick. See what the heck's going on with it. Not too bad, not too bad. It's got some scarring to it, but it ain't got no lip over here, so it's good. It just needs some polishing. That's from assembly right there. Whenever they assembled this engine, that crankshaft wasn't clean. It was clean, but it wasn't clean enough. That's how that shit got in there. It's the only way it can get in there. Most of your wear and gouging on a bearing like that is done on assembly. It's definitely not perfect, but it will work. And we got a 5.3 in there we could do. See, this has got the 2-piece. This has got the lip seal on it. And also you want to check, see if y'all can see. You want to check up in here where the seal rides. Make sure there's not a groove cut in it from the seal itself. If it does, you got problems. It'll look funny. Yeah, we do. And we do. That's that mud and water right there, brothers. Yeah, it's got a little groove cut in it. Probably about 2 or 3 thousandths thick. So, all you can do in that situation, my head was in the way, wasn't it? Sorry. All you can do in that situation is put a new seal in it and see what happens. If it continues to leak and you got, see if it'll focus on it. See that groove? That's where the seal rides. That's not ideal, but we'll put a new seal in it and see what it does. If it still leaks, guess what? 5-3 time. It'll probably be alright though. It's pouring right now. If it's just a small little leak, you know, I'll run it like that because it's only a Woods Jeep. But I don't think, yeah, you can see it good when I put that shade off of it. Look at that. It's not real deep. I'll go get a seal. I'll cut you guys off, go get a seal, and we'll replace it and see what it does. See that? That's from that debris. You can see it come right out of the journal, the crank, out of the there ain't no grooves in it, just made it shiny there. That's why when you do a crank kit on a Jeep or whatever, you gotta clean that crank real good. Get the little brushes to clean it out, to get all that shit out of there. That's what that's from. It's all good. Now these seals, there's 2 different ones. Your Jeep might have this one, it might have the other one. It's still soft. It's all that water, man, getting up in there, mud and shit. But when you use your Jeep like a submarine, that's what happens. Let's get this thing out of here and put the other one out. We'll put it back together and see what happens. That groove in there. At least y'all will know if it'll work or not if you see yours like that. It'll show up again, that leak will, but maybe it'll last the summer anyway. Shit, it may have been coming out of the bottom of it. It may have been, yeah, I won't say that. Let's clean this thing up. See if that crank's standard. That's how you tell that it ain't. It's already turned 10 under. Alright, I'm going to clean this up in parts washer. Pay mind to this. They're really only going one way on this side, but the other side up in the block has got to be turned the right direction. You want that lip, that hole, to be towards the oil, just to the air. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone around here, just a little bit to help it seal at the bottom. That's plenty. It's a thin layer. Let me do that Apology. Just a tad. You don't want to take up too much room in there. It'll probably seal without doing that, but just insurance. Well, I like to call shits and giggles. Okay, that's seated. It's still got the edge on it. It may still leak. We'll see. Alright, I'm going to knock this one out of the crank. Just take a punch and tap it out of there. And then roll this one back in. I might try to film it. We'll see. Alright, let's see how this goes. Little baby hammer. You don't want to get too serious with it. It should just roll right out of there. They must have glued that bitch. Yep. Let me get a thicker punch. Okay. Alright guys, let me get on this thing. Got it started in there, you just got to play with it. Right now, if you had somebody with you, which I don't, to put a socket on the crank and just slowly turn it while you hold pressure on it, it'd probably roll it right in there. It's rolling in there pretty easy though. And you could take another main cap off and that'd free it up even more. There it goes. Careful not to bend it. Yeah, if I had somebody to turn the engine, it would roll it right in there. Okay, I'm going to take these pliers and grab it right just a little bit on the back side right here and give it a push. Not very much squeeze to it, just something to bite that rubber. Take the nose and push it. I know y'all probably cannot see what I'm doing. Take and push it. Yeah, see it don't want to go. Grab it by the back side and push in. You don't want to squeeze it with these pliers. Just kind of nudge it. Okay. Like I said, if you have somebody helping you and they could kind of turn the engine real slow in the direction you're trying to push it, they'd probably roll it right in there a lot easier. Okay, flush that up. It's flush. That one's flush. Okay, you want to clean all this off real good with paper towel, not a rag. You don't want to use a rag ever. Those little fibers will get in everything. Paper towel won't, it'll grind up easily. Just clean that area off good. And get our bearing on our main cap. and we will put some grease on the bearing. Not grease, but 90 weight or some kind of assembly lube on the bearing itself. Put a little bit of grease on that seal. Put the cap back up in there and torque it down. Alright guys, so I'm gonna that's the hard part. It's in there and it's out. And I will right here on these edges, we'll go in there and I'll show you on the bench what I'm gonna do with that. Alright, let's go. Make sure there's no grit in there. That looks worse than it is if you turn it on the side. See, it's not any grooves in it, it just made it shiny right there. Either they didn't chamfer the port coming out of the crankshaft on that thing, and it's got an edge on it that did that when it first cranked up. I'm talking about 0.5 thousandths of an edge. You can't feel anything in it, but if you see bearings like that, that's decent. As long as they don't, see, bad, good. Let's put him in there. Okay. What I like to do on most any of them, these do have a little raised up spot there to seat it in, but I still like to just a little bit. Just a little bit. Like so. Okay. This is motor oil. Put some on the bearing, on the seal. Alright, we're gonna go put it back in there. Make sure you got all this clean here too. And then torque your bolts back the way they go. Alright, I'm gonna go put it on. Alright, cap's back on. You want to take and just run your main stuff bolts up, your main cap bolts, just to where they're kind of barely close to it. See, I still got play. And then take brass hammer or some kind of hammer, light tap, seat it up there. You got to get it in the seated between the block before you tighten it up, because it'll get an angle on you. And you want to run it up hand tight. Okay, give it another little love tap. Make sure it sounds solid. That's it. It's on there. Alright, I'm gonna bump these and torque them down, and put the stud girdle back on there. Do everything in reverse, pan gasket, and I'll come back to y'all when we crank it up and we'll see if it's still leaking. Hopefully not. Alright, the girdle's back on. Everything's torqued down. Ready to rock and roll. I got the oil pan cleaned up. Best thing to use, soap and water. Get some dish detergent and a rag and wash it all out, and then rinse it out with water and wipe it out with paper towels. Got my gasket all cleaned up. This is one piece. I've never had any problems reusing these. I'm gonna get it back on there and get some oil in it, and we'll be cranking it up and seeing what's going on with it now. She's full of oil. Oil pan's back on. Let's see what happens. I'll turn you back on. We'll get under and see if it's leaking. Alright guys, she's been running for about 30 minutes. Let's get under and look at it. y'all see in the video that groove that was in the crank. Usually if they're like that, it won't seal back, but it did. So it's always worth a try once you get it out. And if it's still leaking on you, then you got to pull the motor and pull the crankshaft. Put a new crankshaft in it and it'll fix it. That's a lot of work, but that's what you got to do if it don't seal back. Anyway, we're back in business. Don't get to put the 5.3 in right now anyway. I don't know that I'll do that to this Jeep, because I love the 4.0, man. It's got plenty of power, and I'd much rather suit one of these up. We'll do something with the 5.3 maybe one day. But anyway, as far as our oil leak goes, she's good to go. I'm gonna finish cleaning her on up, and maybe the next video we'll make will be respraying that Rhino, that Raptor liner. Fix some of that stuff up. Maybe. I always tell y'all I'm gonna make a video and then it's something totally different every time, but I'm trying. That's all I could do. I go what needs to be done, and the Raptor liner does need to be done though. But we're good to go, guys. I'll talk to y'all later, and any questions when you do yours, let me know. And y'all noticed the leaf in the oil pump? That was weird. Y'all take it easy. Bye.